A new offering from acclaimed director Terrence Malick, starring Christian Bale, Cate Blanchett, and Natalie Portman.
And his midnight special among the greatest science fiction flicks in recent memory. That and much more right now on Here is VOD.
Hello and welcome to Here is VOD. I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Daniel Feingold. There are tons of movie options available on your cable provider's on-demand channel. We're here to sort through the new ones and help you find which may be the right fit for you.
So let's get started by checking back in with a classic cinematic family in My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
A long time ago, I had a big fat Greek wedding. Now my daughter is all grown up.
Hope you applied to some local colleges too.
Why do parents always say dream big when they really mean not too big?
Ian and I are just trying to find a minute to ourselves.
How about another date tonight?
And afterward, oh, satin, slippery like an eel. Leah! You're welcome. Shave everything.
You look pretty.
What are you doing?
Dad! And my family is still too close.
Parents deserve a sex life, too.
This family's always in my business.
Keep your eyeballs open for a nice Greek boy, so one day you can make babies.
They follow me everywhere. I need some air.
Your mom felt the same way about being Greek.
Florida, Texas, New York. These are the colleges I'm applying to. Why do you want to leave me?
Payback.
But there's always
The priest never signed the wedding license.
a few surprises.
We're not married? I'm a hippie.
Now my family has come together.
Who says a woman has to be married?
You, all our lives.
The wedding is on!
To pull off another
Beautiful.
big fat Greek wedding.
Take a photo! All right, pull my neck.
It may have been 14 years ago, but there is no forgetting the Portocalis family.
And just like the first movie, this was written and stars Nia Vardalos. But in this one, instead of her character being the daughter, she's now also a mother.
In the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding, we get married, and our little girl was about 6. Now you will see this story pick up with that little girl grown up.
You better get married. You're starting to look old.
Dad, you can't say that to her.
The thing I wanted to do when I set out to write the sequel is show that whether we like it or not, you become your own parents.
With Ian and Tula.
I like the mascot there, the little noise it makes.
Pretty
but
cute, yeah.
No, I think that is a lesson that we all sort of learn at some point. Because when you're growing up, I'm not going to be like my parents.
You
And
slowly turn into your parents, whether
yeah.
you like it or not.
I feel like people come around to it at some point, and some sooner than others. Maybe like I already see things that are like my parents, and then that's when you try to avoid the bad things.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to be aware of it first, though.
True. Okay.
Well, despite some relatable family themes and the popularity of the first movie, this may be a case of something coming just too late.
Whatever magical appeal the film had with audiences in 2002 seems to have dissipated. Real Views thinks the characters are long past their sell-by date. The Chicago Reader calls it an unnecessary sequel, and Newsday says these are old jokes.
Of course, it's not all bad. These are characters that many of us know and love, and some critics found this sequel to be charming, sweet, and endearing.
So while there may have not been a need for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, it does have some redeeming qualities, so we're giving it 2 out of 5 stars, and it is on demand now.
I feel like if you like the first one, it's probably a safe bet you'll like this one.
And sometimes you like that wholesome family
Right.
type movie. We have a lot of bad things happening in the
Yes.
world, so sometimes it's nice
Right.
to fall
Of course.
back on that.
Well, and you're always up for a solid Ethan Hawke flick, so let's
right.
now shift to the sports drama The Phenom.
In this one, Hawke plays the abusive father of a baseball prospect, running into some challenges in his pro career.
Do you think that your father had a lot to do with your success?
Come on, go! Don't make me get up and chase you. Don't make me get up and chase you! Do not make me get up and chase you!
Picture my dad, and all I see is a shadow. A
person can project things that make them feel uncomfortable or dangerous.
You must think you're pretty astonishing, huh? You can tell me. It's all right.
No, sir.
Come on. You can tell me.
No, sir.
It'll be our secret.
What were you doing to him out here?
Junior and me have rules. And I was remembering them to him. Something bothering you, Hopper? What happened to your head?
He looks tired. He doesn't look tired, all right? He looks lazy.
Come on, Hopper, challenge this guy!
Hopper, right here!
I don't know what it's like.
A lot of people want an arm that can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
I'll tell you something, they picked the wrong guy. Because I'm just an ordinary kid. I'm just an ordinary kid.
There's a lot of positive things in our shadow that we need, like our animal instincts.
Want me to explode?
Do you want to explode?
I know you're pissed at me. Only me, you, and the ghosts of the legends up at this hour. One of these days, you're gonna be rich. You're gonna be in some fancy...
You can cut the tension with a knife. Geez, and who would have thought Ethan Hawke and Paul Giamatti are receiving high praise for their performances, as is Johnny Simmons in the lead role. NPR says he's dynamite.
As for the story and directing, the New York Times faults the film not because it's a sports movie without much sports, but because they considered the dialogue that steers the ship to be uninspired.
But on the other hand, there are critics like the Arizona Republic saying this is a baseball film for non-baseball fans, and they meant that as a positive.
Strong performances elevate the phenom enough to recommend it, so we're giving it 3 stars.
And yes, of course, as I said, you are a big Ethan Hawke fan.
This role,
Different
it is a little different than, you know, most of the ones that I like him in, but he's fantastic. So.
Well, and it's totally different from, especially from Boyhood, the you know, acclaimed movie where he's the easygoing, nice father, supportive father. This one, a little overbearing.
Big
but
turn.
I'm very interested in this. Just the tension and the drama just seems to be building up, and I want to see what happens.
It's intense.
Yes.
Well, the latest film from legendary auteur Terrence Malick stars Christian Bale as a screenwriter doing some self-exploration as he travels from Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
Here's Knight of Cups.
Different these days. What's going on with you?
I can't remember a man I wanted to be.
Just don't threaten me with leaving, okay? Just do what you want to do.
You don't want love. You want a love experience.
They are like flavors. Sometimes you want raspberry, then after a while you want some strawberry.
You have love in you. I know it.
Blind. Suppose it isn't there for me. I was afraid when I was young. Afraid of life. One pays for it.
Once the soul was perfect and had wings and could soar into heaven.
You gave me peace, joy, love.
Find your way from darkness to light. Remember.
If you're unfamiliar with Malick's work, here's a look at a few titles. He does some pretty weird stuff. The Tree of Life, which was nominated for Best Picture a few years ago, was definitely out there.
And while that style has certainly worked for Malick before, it did not go over so well with Knight of Cups. You could say critics were generally dazed and confused with this one, though there wasn't much denying the visual beauty of this film, so that does have that.
Detroit News says whether you view this straightforward or nonlinear, it's an indecipherable mess either way. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch adds that the film will make you miss old-fashioned storytelling.
And that's saying something. Well, this may be a Malick fans-only experience. We're giving Knight of Cups just 2 out of 5 stars.
Yes, I would, and if you the trailer shows it, just to warn everyone, it's definitely some sexually explicit content in there. And
not for the kids.
Right, not for the kids, and just weirdness overall. So just beware.
Okay. Well, we have Sacha Baron Cohen's latest comedy still to come.
Plus, talented writer-director Jeff Nichols' latest effort, a thrilling sci-fi called Midnight Special.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
We're starting the week on a sophisticated and classy note. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we're talking and trying caviar and learning how local groups are working to keep it sustainable right here on the Suncoast. We love new ideas. We'll meet local entrepreneurs with our economic buzz expert, plus how to protect your pets from heat exhaustion. And Ruth's Chris joins us in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
What do you do when your son has some kind of superhuman abilities and both the government and a religious group wants him?
Interesting. Michael Shannon goes on the run in Midnight Special. It's our featured film of the week.
What do you know about Alton Meyer?
He would have fits.
Things would break. Cars would shut down, that kind of thing.
Others have described seeing things. Did he show you things?
Yes.
What kinds of things?
I wouldn't know where to start.
We need to know where he is.
You'll have no clue what you're dealing with, do you?
It's okay. It's okay.
Let's go. Move it, move it, move it.
What if Alton doesn't belong with us?
You don't know that. That's remarkable. I know where they're going.
He believes in something.
Good people die every day believing in things.
You don't have to worry about me.
I'll always worry about you, Alan. I like worrying about you. That's the deal.
It's okay. I know why I'm here.
As you saw, this also stars Joel Edgerton, Kirsten Dunst, Adam Driver, and Sam Shepard. That supporting cast plays a big role in taking the material from director Jeff Nichols and making sure it's presented well.
And while we don't want to give away too much about Midnight Special, here's an extra clip that really only adds to the intrigue.
Roy, I'll get him here.
If he's not dead. I'm sorry.
Roy won't let that happen.
Yeah, I hope not.
He believes in something. You don't.
It doesn't matter. Good people die every day believing in things.
What we're not worried about giving away is that Midnight Special is excellent.
And that's not just coming from us. Critics and moviegoers alike have raved about this movie, going back to when it was showing at film festivals before being released in theaters and now on demand.
So let's run down the list. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune calls it magic. The Arizona Republic says it's deeply satisfying. The Wall Street Journal describes it as beautifully strange and stirring, and Rolling Stone considers it spellbinding.
And those are just a few of the many, many positive reviews. Midnight Special also got a nod of approval from Richard Roper, Entertainment Weekly, USA Today, and the New York Times.
The point at which the movie falters, according to some critics, is the final act. Some felt it kind of falls apart after starting off very strong, while others just weren't fans of the ending.
And I will say, I totally disagree. I loved it, and I love the ending in particular.
Well, there you go, ringing endorsement. Midnight Special gets 4 stars from us. We recommend that sci-fi or mystery fans especially find it on demand.
Absolutely. And straight ahead, Woody Harrelson and Liam Hemsworth go mano a mano in a Western.
Plus, from politics to movies, a former congressman writes and co-directs a movie simply titled The Congressman.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Hurricane season is here, and Suncoast weather can go from this to this in seconds. So when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology so that we can bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
Plus, we focus on the Suncoast and track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community with a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
The Congressman stars Treat Williams and is written and co-directed by former Congressman Robert Mrazek.
The movie follows a politician returning to his constituents in Maine to do some soul searching as he catches flack for his conduct on the House floor.
I'm not sure I even care anymore. It's just not the same. There was a time when Congress was important, when it meant something to be there. Now it's all about delivering money. It just makes you feel kind of irrelevant.
Some of us grew up believing that the island was enchanted and had magical healing properties.
And now?
I'm 43 and divorced.
Safety's fair. Okay, come on.
Your committee needs to try harder, Congressman. You people are irrelevant.
Yeah. Does that happen here often?
Every day, actually.
I like this place.
Yeah. Me too.
Going back to my district. Call Abigail, sir. I'm having a town meeting. So tell you apart there. Just do it.
You know, when we're young, we think we're going all the way to the mountaintop. And then somewhere along the journey, most men look up at the summit and they realize that they're never going to get there. So, they stop to enjoy the view.
The Congressman takes a somewhat more idealistic point of view than many of the political films that come out of Hollywood, which you might find refreshing considering the tone of politics these days in this election year.
Unfortunately, the film's lighter approach was not enough to compensate for what critics called a childishly simple film with TV movie aesthetics. This hasn't been widely reviewed yet, but the Los Angeles Times, Washington Post, and Village Voice all came away unimpressed.
Well, Film Journal International sums it up appropriately. The Congressman means well, but that doesn't make up for its dialogue and character development issues. So we're giving it 2 stars.
I will say it is nice for lighthearted fare. So it's
like we said, we have enough politics right now,
Exactly.
so maybe let's take a softer spin on it.
Sure. How about a trip to the Wild West?
Let's go for it. Here's Woody Harrelson as a dangerous preacher and Liam Hemsworth as the Texas Ranger who must bring him down in the duel.
Bodies are turning up in the river.
Find out the root of these killings. Time is of the essence.
What brings y'all this way?
Saw smoke, thought we'd see some lodges, rest our horses.
You need to see the preacher.
We have new guests. Welcome to Mount Hermon. How long will you be staying?
Long enough to rest, a few days.
Abraham frightens me, David.
You are in search of something.
But some strange twist of fate. Abraham is the same man that killed my father 20 years ago.
David, you will kill this man. You're not safe. I've tried to leave this place.
They say he's been touched by God.
Let us pray. You're not feeling well.
No, I feel fine.
No, you have the fever.
Something's not right.
What's wrong?
Help me.
You have no idea what's going on here.
I'm a Texas Ranger. I was sent by the governor himself. I've been chasing this man my entire life.
The hell are you doing to my wife? Heathens be damned.
You say one word and I'll blow your head off.
He's put you in the river, like he did your father.
Take him. I've known you'd be coming for me, David.
I'm guessing you didn't foresee this.
Westerns usually make the perfect backdrop for stories about revenge, and you have Woody Harrelson and Liam Hemsworth leading the way for this one.
But it was the supporting characters that the AV Club appreciated, also noting several scenes of, quote, genuine good fun. They also said the movie doesn't drag on.
The Los Angeles Times, though, disagrees, saying the nearly 2-hour film feels more like 3. The Nerdist, meanwhile, yes, the Nerdist, which I should be reading more of, am I right, enjoyed the movie overall.
And they noted something we should pass along. While it takes a while to get there, once the violence comes, there is a lot of it, so do beware.
Another 2-star rating for us. The majority of critics came away with lukewarm reviews, with some feeling like there was just too much going on.
The New York Star-Ledger says at least when it's bad in surprising ways, so take that however you want.
I guess so. Whatever. Coming up next, can Sacha Baron Cohen effectively mix action and espionage with comedy?
A look at the Brothers Grimsby when we return.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7.
The convention's going to be terrific. We have great speakers. We have fantastic speakers.
Presumptive presidential nominee is ready for Cleveland. Actors, athletes, and even a few GOP stalwarts are coming out for the show that is the Republican National Convention. I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have that story and more as we broadcast live from Cleveland.
Monday on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC 7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC 7, your Suncoast News on the go. Have you ever wondered what it's like to save a life? Find out by donating platelets at Suncoast Blood Bank.
I'm Haley Wilgus, ABC 7. Platelets aid in the clotting process and are vital in the treatment of cancer and surgical patients, trauma victims, and critically ill newborns. It's tough to keep enough on the shelves because they only last 5 days. To donate, call this number or visit scbb.org and you can help save a life.
ABC 7 congratulates Suncoast Blood Bank on 65 years of serving our community.
Finally tonight, another comedy new to VOD. It's the latest from the one and only Sacha Baron Cohen, the man behind Borat, The Dictator, and Bruno.
And this one, like My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, involves a family, much in the way, but very, very different. Let's take a look at the Brothers Grimsby.
Look, Seb, that's the couple that's adopting us. You all coming with me, right, Nobby? I'd never leave my little brother.
We've decided to adopt one of the brothers, Mr. Lowesley.
These boys are inseparable. It would break their hearts.
Sir, are you sure about sending Agent Graves?
He's the best I ever trained.
For 28 years, I've been searching for my baby brother.
You haven't seen anyone who looks like this?
I hope I don't die before I get old.
We finally found your brother. He's gonna be at this posh event tomorrow.
Eyes on the target.
Finally, I can make things right.
Nobby? Oh my God.
Take him out! Because of you, my shot was compromised.
A huge manhunt to find the rogue secret agent.
How can I help? Stay away from me.
Don't worry, brother. I won't leave you.
Don't worry, it's bulletproof.
You can't help us. We've got bulletproof glass.
You know what you're going to get with Sacha Baron Cohen. Big, broad comedy from a guy who will go a long way for a laugh.
And while he was certainly working hard for laughs here, critics didn't find them as easy to come by as in Borat or Bruno. The consensus is that The Brothers Grimsby is definitely not his best work.
The New York Times says he seems off his game here, while several critics noted that the jokes are very hit or miss. Rolling Stone, meanwhile, says that while there's raunchiness, the movie lacks the satire that Cohen is usually very good at.
There's certainly worse comedies out there, and if you're a Sacha Baron Cohen fan, this may be worth a shot. I like how Entertainment Weekly admitted, God help me, I laughed.
Sometimes you do feel bad about laughing at these things, so we're going to go with 2 stars for The Brothers Grimsby.
And that's it for this week, but let's take a quick recap. And we'll admit, not the best week. We had 5 movies that got just 2 stars, but we do still recommend them for certain audiences.
The 2-star reviews were for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, Night of the Cups, The Congressman, The Duel, and The Brothers Grimsby.
We awarded The Phenom 3 stars and highly recommend Midnight Special, which we gave 4 stars, and I definitely recommend it as well.
Make sure to check out our website. Here is VOD.com for information on these movies and some others on demand. You can sign up for our free newsletter. So until next week, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Daniel Feingold. Thank you for tuning in once again. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the movies.